We already on. We on. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothas Get a Rap Podcast. This is episode 36, Sunday edition. It's Sunday today, right? So we're gonna give y'all that soul food for Sunday. Sunday's cooking. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joined with the other host of the show, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world. Santana, say something to the people.
What up, y'all? What up? Y'all already know episode 36. We got a lot of spices stirring up in the gumbo. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get right to it. Appreciate y'all in the chat for tuning in. Y'all could be anywhere else, but y'all here with us tonight, and we appreciate that very much. Y'all already know the rules. Like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Share. You know the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Let's get cooking, you heard?
Mm-hmm. 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 So let's get it started, like my brother said. Let's jump right into popular opinions. Okay. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. To stay in tune with OUV Records' latest and greatest, make sure you hit up the Instagram where you can follow the latest albums, releases, singles, or merchandise. So make sure y'all tap into OUV Records. First question of the night. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Rowan Jack, I see you in here strong. Shout out to Rowan Jack, one of our day ones. Shout out to Winter in the building. Shout out to King Prince in the building. Yo, chat in here strong. And shout out to everybody else. First question. Who's the best R&B artist on this list? 1. Genuine. 2. Neo. 3. Tank. 4. Darnell Jones. I already know who I'm picking. Y'all already know how I roll. Y'all already know who I'm picking. Let me know who y'all think is the best on this list.
Yeah. Mm,
Yup.
that's just tough.
I'm seeing Neo. That is a tough list. That's not like something like you could think off the top of your head and be like, yeah, it's this person or whatever. But that's a tough list though.
Yeah, that's a tough list, but man. Um, yeah, I might fuck with Neo in this list. I think Neo's the better on that list.
On this list, right? We talking about on this list, not of everybody that, because you know how some of the people like to do. They like to R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, like they not on the list, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta go with who's on this list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck with Neo on this one.
Okay, okay. I'm seeing Neo heavily in the chat. I'm seeing some Tank love in the building. Pause, pause, pause. We just talking about for the list. Um, what else? My bad. See, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here
He's
we
a Terry
go.
Crews.
Here we go. Why they starting so early? Why y'all do that? Why y'all do that? Yo, roll Jack, you crazy. So so the world, myself, I gotta pick my choice. I gotta go with my choice. Overall, I'm gonna have to say Neo. The reason why I went with Neo myself is because when we're talking about R&B, like the music in itself, I think Neo I think undoubtedly give you the best albums out of everybody on this list. I don't think anybody on this list could say that they get better Neo albums. Now, when it comes to singing, Neo vocals is top tier. The only person that I can really see rivaling Neo on this list, me personally, overall, I'm gonna have to say Darnell Jones, right? But who has the biggest appeal? Pause. It's probably Genuine. Um, the most versatile as far as making beats, sing, rap, write, the whole nine is probably Tank. But overall, dancing, singing, albums, the whole like everything, pause. I'm gonna have to go with Neo as well. The rest of the world went with Neo at 40%. At 40%. So I'm not surprised at that. You know what I'm saying? So, um, that's so funny, Terry Crews. All right, so my bad. Got Usher's not on this list. Usher's not on this list. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Neo. He won that. He won that one. You know what I'm saying? And well deserved. He's a much disrespected legend in this game. He needs to get his flowers more. All right, next question. Moving on. Moving on. Moving on. All right, based on the allegations and truths. So based on things that is said and that's an allegation and to be true. Worst on this list. Number one, Elvis Presley. Number two, P. Diddy. Number three, Vince McMahon. And number four, Hugh Hefner.
Damn.
Yo, bro, pause. The way you did your face was like, yo, this is the who's
the creepazoid list, like top upper echelon creepazoid list. You know what I'm saying?
top
Like,
tier. Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yo,
damn.
that's hilarious. He said that's the top 10, Joe, on the creep squad, nah, man.
Shit. It's like all them niggas was at the same party almost, except for Elvis. If he was around the same time, that nigga be partying with all these niggas.
All of them, you know what I'm
All
saying?
of them.
Yeah.
The worst on this list?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Elvis. Only because everybody gloss over his shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ain't say nothing when he was married a young girl or playing with young chicks, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't
Yeah.
saying nothing.
Mm-hmm. And been doing it. And he was a whole grown man and he pulled up. His bride at that time was 15.
Right.
15. So imagine being a 30-something-year-old man. You've been on the road smashing chicks. He went to the service, if I'm not mistaken, in between like his run of being Elvis, came home from the service to marry a 15, 16-year-old girl. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean, that's what and then the world was okay with it. Like, oh, can you believe it? He married a 15-year-old girl.
It's amazing. It's
Like, you know what I'm saying? So imagine that's like Chris Brown. If Chris Brown was like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna pull up with this 16-year-old chick. Cause Chris Brown is like 30 something now. Right? Chris Brown is at least what, like 32, 33?
He's around there.
Right?
I think he's like 34, maybe. He's
I
in his early 30s for sure.
I so 34, right? So this is around Elvis when he was 30 something. He pulled up with, so this is like when that's like Chris Brown right now having a 15-year-old girl at the crib, ain't nobody saying nothing.
And I can't even say, oh, it was a different time. Nah, I mean, 15 is 15, regardless
Mm-hmm.
if it's 1875 or 1975. You know what I'm saying?
Fact. Mm-hmm.
So, and then more so, like, it was glossed over. Nobody mentioned nothing. Nobody do no special on it. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I say Elvis Presley is the worst on the list. Everybody else got caught with their fuckery. So
Mm-hmm.
then they're going through their thing right now. But he died and passed on, and nothing became of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it ain't no surviving Elvis. They actually gave him a full movie just recently, had a full movie about his life. I didn't even watch it, but it was a full movie about his life.
Not watching.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like what are we doing? What are we talking about? So, like,
Unless you're going to showcase how you stole your whole swag from Little Richard.
nah,
You know,
Chuck Berry, Chuck Berry, Chuck Berry.
melanated
Yeah,
level. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
fact.
your whole joint.
Mm-hmm. Now you know what's interesting? He stole his whole swag from Chuck Berry, but Chuck Berry supposedly got caught with an underage girl, and when he did at that time, it was a wrap for his career. He didn't get the same grace or nothing like that because it was wrong. So if it's going to be wrong, then it's going to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But they chose to, you know what I'm saying, like pick and choose on that. So that alone is crazy to me. Vince McMahon stuff is like wow, like he's defecating on women, having sex, having sex with them after he's defecating on women, uh, running trains on women. I mean, if they up for the train, then you're allowed to make your own decisions. But it's a whole lot of funny business that's going on. Like it's just crazy. In the chat, I'm seeing Diddy. I'm seeing Diddy. Shout out to Vicky in the building. Shout out to Vicky in the building. I'm seeing Joe Biden. Joe Biden on the list, y'all. I'm
Boy,
seeing Vince
boy
McMahon.
Ace, Free Kells,
Yeah,
in the building.
I'm seeing Diddy. I'm seeing Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner is the worst. Luckily for him, he passed away. Uh, is that Morgan Freeman married to the grandmother? Is it true that Morgan Freeman is married to his grandmother? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. I've never heard of that. But Morgan Freeman is an old dude, so I don't know. Um, but yeah, so you went with yours. The rest of the world went with Vince McMahon at 40%.
Because
Yeah,
it's relatively new. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. Who do you think is gonna go down first? P Diddy or Vince McMahon?
Mm. Well, we already know. I feel like Diddy's gonna go down first, and
Mhm.
somehow, some way, Vince McMahon's situation may or may not get swept under the rug. But Diddy, for some reason, is gonna go down first. Like,
So me personally, I don't think neither one of them is going to go down. I think Diddy's going to go down in the sense of people won't do business with him anymore, so he has to find other ways to maintain his lifestyle. But I don't think Diddy's going to go down in the sense of we're going to see him in jail because people are wrapped up into the sexual acts more than the criminality of it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're more interested into the who it's with than the criminality of what was going on and forcing people and so on and so have you. I think that's what people are more wrapped into when it comes to Diddy. So I don't think Diddy's gonna go down because of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
I mean by going down, I don't mean by like going to jail, but I feel like there's not enough, like you said, there's not enough criminal aspect to it. You know what I'm saying? It's
mhm,
just a lot of debauchery, but
yeah,
going down in the sense like you're gonna lose a lot of endorsements, gonna lose a
mhm,
lot of plugs, gonna just lose a whole lot. And you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna leave this industry clean. So his face gonna be real muddy and real dirty.
yeah.
And yeah, that's what I mean by going down. As far as like criminally, I don't see it really, like, because a lot of stuff they saying is, I mean, can somebody really force you to do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? If somebody force you to do it, that's a different story. I don't necessarily heard being forced, because can nobody make you do nothing you don't want to really want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
It's just after the fact you realize what you did. Now it's an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the whole Vince McMahon situation, um, Shorty was supposed to get, like, she got part of her settlement and didn't get the rest, and that's why this whole thing came out.
Hmm.
If you got your bread, would you still come out and say it, or you know what
Nothing.
I'm saying? So it's like,
Hmm. Yeah.
uh,
She
you know
wouldn't
what I'm
have said.
saying? If it's a, if you wanted to get rid of the monster and you wanted him to go down criminally, you
Hmm.
wouldn't have took no bread, because that kind of like taints your face. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It taints your credibility because you took the money. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
as far as like both of them criminally, it's not really much there criminally, but
Yeah.
we'll see. It's
Yeah.
still people gonna come out, I guess. All of us now they coming out. But when
Mm-hmm.
everything was said and was being done, everybody I looked away, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all in
Yeah.
the party, y'all in the studio, y'all just I'm gonna step outside real quick. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, that's
I,
just weird.
I always find it interesting that, when these allegations come up prior to that, all of these, victims or so-called victims, and I call them so-called victims because it takes away from the real victims who are real victims. But these so-called victims who are on a payment plan, and then once them checks stop getting cleared and stop being cut, then these are when the stories come out. So, the timing of it is very interesting, and it's just something to pay attention to. It matters who saying what and when they're saying it. So,
So
and
my
my bad.
thing is like, all right, if you were violated, don't wait. You know what I'm saying? I know it's like a certain situation and it's like it's very hard to like get over it, but you know what I'm saying, go through the proper protocols, you know what I'm saying, go to the police, get that police report, go after them criminally, you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying,
Hmm.
and then after the criminal thing, then you go after civilly, then you go after the bread, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
the right way, so the people who are true victims have a court case that they can use for their situation. You know what I'm saying? But then
Hmm.
when y'all don't do that, the real victims who are out there who had those situations happen to them don't have an outlet because now they think other people um or the populace think that, oh, you just out here for some clout when you actually really went through it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It just looks bad because it's like for Cassie's case, you was with the Knicks for 10 years.
Yeah.
Saying it's just like, so 10 years you endured that and you wouldn't say nothing.
Hmm.
It like not taken away from you, but it just looks bad. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look logically, it doesn't look intelligent. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like within the first 10 minutes, 10 months, a year, you see some fugazi, you dip out. But oh, because it was Diddy had bread and da da da. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it just looks all the way bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 So I mean, at the end of the day, when you got all these people on the list, this is the who's who of being weird, and some of these folks are going down. I think Hugh Hefner was on the cusp of that. If he didn't pass away, they said it in the chat as well. Somebody was messaging a lot of weirdness, so you won't see the latest. I got to go all the way back up. Um, but yeah, like you see a lot of weirdness. 50 Cent was going in on Diddy. 50 Cent goes in on everybody that he feel like he needs to go in on. But at the same time, it's not just about going in on somebody. It's about, isn't it true? Is it true? Like, again, even with Diddy, like they released the tapes. Supposedly, this was the allegation. The audio of Diddy and Meek Mills was released. And that's what I'm saying. People are focusing on those acts instead of the criminality of it. So,
I
um,
mean, there was a video of him, Meek Mills by the pool, and Diddy's like, you know what I'm saying? He being Diddy. So he's like,
hmm.
yo, what's going on, daddy? And all this other weird jargon he's using.
Hmm.
But that's still, you know what I'm saying? Like he funny with his wordplay,
Hmm.
but that don't really mean nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then on top of that, if you even have audio or video of somebody, that can be admissible in court because you know what I mean? If it's in, well, depending on where it's at, you know, there's rules and regulations of how
Right.
you can use that to as evidence. You know what I'm saying? So the
Hmm.
person has to agree with it, and we already know how these parties get down. You can't even walk in with your phone. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You can't even walk in with your junk. So how'd you get that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts, facts. So this is very interesting, and it's going to get even crazier. So let's move on to the next question. Moving on. Uh, I'm a freak. I'm a free market capitalist, agreeing to a service, cash in the check, then whine about it, like buying a shit sandwich, eating it, and then wanting your money back. Same thing to me. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. You know, people sign up for what they get. They don't like their cut, but they agreed on their cut, and then now they trying to double back because they, you know, they thought about it and be like, you know what, I should have got a little extra. You know what I'm saying? That's like the time when Pam married Luis for $5,000, and then Pam at the wedding talk about, yeah, I should have married him for 5,500. Like, what you gonna do with $500, Kingpin? Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So,
And you still came up because Luis was born in America. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Later on. So you still came up with some 5Gs real quick.
that's a fact. Shout out to Johnny Cash. Shout out to Johnny Cash in the building. All right, moving on to our next question. What is the best nightmare movie? As in Freddy Krueger. Nightmare 1, Nightmare 3, Nightmare 4, or Freddy versus Jason?
Mm.
These are all top tier movies too.
I'm gonna go with Nightmare 3. That was what is it? Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I think it was like some dream or something. I forget the title of it, but yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 was top tiers.
That was the one with Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, that shit was top tier.
That was the one with Lawrence Fishburne. Me personally, I'm gonna go with Nightmare 4. That's the one where they was like in like some mental institution, and and like he had like the kids, like the one kid had the he had made like fingers out of with the syringes, and that one was fire to me. Then the other joint with the melanated kid, he was like heavy set, and he was going toe to toe with Freddy. Like, nah, we gonna bop this out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to go with that one as well. What y'all think in the chat? I'm seeing Freddy versus Jason. Nightmare 1. Nightmare 1 was popping. Not Nightmare 1 was popping. All these was popping, but Nightmare 1 was popping. What else y'all got for us in the chat? So I'm seeing Freddy versus Jason, and I'm seeing Nightmare 1. My brother went with Nightmare 3. I went with Nightmare 4. So we got like a mixed bag here. So the rest of the world went with Freddy versus Jason. Wow, at 57%.
That
That
was okay. It was okay.
I think
It
it's
don't
the
hit like, huh?
I think it's the aspect it was just Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, it was okay. It nothing hit like the night. Nothing hit like the original Nightmare movie, son. Them
Yeah,
Jones hit different, son.
yeah. Facts. Facts. That's a fact. Um, dope catalog. Dope catalog. So shout out to Wes Craven. All right, moving on to the next question. Next question. In the WWE history of the WWE or the WWF or whatever what you may call it, the history of the WWE, who had the best ring entrance on this list? Number one, Ultimate Warrior. Number two, Ric Flair. Number three, The Rock. Number four, The Undertaker.
As far as like showmanship and just you already knew what it was when that person came out, that had to be Undertaker, son.
As far, but this is the ring entrance. This is just straight, yeah, showmanship within the ring entrance. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
Undertaker.
Okay, bro, going with Undertaker. Shout out to James Day in the building. He going Undertaker. Everyone who tried Sting. Everyone who tried to enter like Sting and died. Yeah, Sting was popping though. The Rock, I'm seeing The Rock. The Rock. Okay, so we got Ultimate Warrior, we got Undertaker, and we got The Rock in the chat. Um, I'm going to say, me personally, I enjoyed the most is probably Ultimate Warrior because he at that time when he was out, he was completely different. Everybody else at that time came swagging out, you know what I'm saying, doing their whatever, you know what I'm saying. You had Coco Beware doing this or whatever with the little parrot on his don't everybody else was like slow walking and you know swagging it out, but Ultimate Warrior didn't want none of that. He just come to the ring full speed, geezer from the back with nothing but tassels. All you see is tassels just waving or whatever, and he's going to each part of the ring shaking the ropes or whatever. And then you had the pyro techniques and all that popping. So me personally, I'm gonna go with Ultimate Warrior on this list. The rest of the world went with the Undertaker at 38%.
Yeah, because that was creepy as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Uh
Dude said
huh.
Rakishi.
Right. See, even
Yo,
Rishi though will come out and swag. His big behind come out just dancing, just shaking his butt, paws like just you know what I'm saying. Big dude, he ain't on the gangster. He come out shaking and bopping, and you know what I'm saying. Like so,
yo, that's funny.
yeah. So all right, so moving on. WWE not the same no more. That's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
it was different when we was growing up in the '90s, kid. Like it was just different. Man. I took
Yeah,
that seriously. Yo, even when we was in elementary school, we had our rivals. My crew was the what was the what was Generation X,
yeah.
man? And then who was
Boy,
they beefing with? I forgot who they was beefing
they,
with for a minute.
they had the Dudley Boys out.
Yeah, the Dudley Boys.
They had the
Um,
Hardy. They had the Hardy Boys, Christian
uh,
and
yo, it was just too fire, sir. It was
yeah,
just too fire, sir.
yeah. Because
Uh,
Christian Ed, you had Christian and Edge, and then you had wasn't Jericho? Nah, Jericho was Dolo. I thought Jericho was in the group.
he was solo, son. He was solo for a little bit.
Yeah,
Generation X had Triple H, they had X Pac, who else they had? Man, they had a couple of other cats on this, and I can't even remember. But
yeah,
Generation X was lit, yo.
yeah.
Everybody,
They had Triple H. They had China,
oh yeah, China on there too.
X Pac, and then they had like a white dude with like he had like a skin fade on the side, but then he had like hair in the middle. I forget his name though. I forget his something dog. No, not Diamond. Not it's something. I could have sworn it was something dog, but what they saying in the chat, the
Yeah,
community,
let Rakisha do his finishing move. Now you're going to jail.
you going to jail.
That's a fact.
I never understood Rakishi's
Yeah,
finishing move because like if I'm a wrestler, it's like yo, we fighting after this, bro. Like I'm gonna see you in the
yo,
locker room putting your butt cheeks on my face.
bro. I'm surprised mad people ain't get pink eye fucking with Rakishi, son. Crazy, son.
Yo, nasty work, bro.
Nasty business, son.
Nasty work. Like, and Rakishi signed up for that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna back this butt up into this grown 300-pound muscle bound man face when I finish him. Like, just mad butt cheeks in his face. Like, yo, you signed off on this, bro. So
Like that's your finishing move. All right, we'll see.
they're like, yo, you gotta lose to Rakishi tonight. Who gotta lose? You gotta lose to Rakishi tonight. You know what that means? You gonna back up that butt on your face, bro.
Thanks.
Nah, nah. But yeah, that's too funny. I forget I was about to say about wrestling before we moved on because wrestling used to be real popping. It's this one new dude though. They got his entrance theme music is popping because he got this other dude rolling with him, and he just killing the step, bro. He just be like this the whole time. He do this, then he turn around, then he go back like the joint is fire. He's like the only dude that have like a suitable ring entrance that's like popping to now, but everybody else is like whack. I wish they would tell me in the chat who that was, but I can't. I can't think of the dude name. Shout out to Sandman in the building.
Bro, I
Uh,
haven't watched wrestling since 2002, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I haven't watched
uh,
it in a long
uh,
time. I could, once you got into high school and you playing ball, it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
You
then
get different interests, but it's still entertaining. Because I remember we was in high school. I was still watching it. I was still watching um Thursday night SmackDown and Monday night. I forget what Monday night was. Raw. Pause. Raw. Monday Night Raw. So it was, and then those are the years when you had what's dude that was in the movie with the Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
He was on the other team with the guards.
Oh, you talking about Goldberg? No, not Goldberg. He was
Gold,
he was in there.
Goldberg was on his team.
Yeah. Who was the other?
The dude with the beard. He always come out slapping the beard, throwing up in the air. He tell everybody kiss his ass. And he
Oh, you talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Oh, those are the years of Stone Cold, and this is when The Rock started becoming popping, and he will go on his monologues or whatever.
Yeah, facts. And
Classic.
the millions.
In the millions. Yo, popping show. The tall
It
dude,
doesn't matter what you think.
Bam Bam Bigelow. That actually was my nickname when I was a little kid. They used to call me Bam Bam. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not into oily dudes in panties. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. But still dope entertainment at the end of the day. Moving on. In the last 30 years, which school had the most decorated quarterbacks in college? Right? So number one is Oklahoma. Number two is Florida State. Number three is USC, and number four is LSU. So let me remind you. So LSU, Oklahoma, talking about Baker Mayfield, Sam Bradford, Kyler Murray. All of those guys won Heisman's, right? But none of their teams was ever like the best team. You got Florida State with Jameis Winston, Charlie Ward, uh, Chris Winkie. All of them won the Heisman. And if I'm not mistaken, all of them won the national championship. USC, you got Caleb Williams, Matt Leinart, Carson Palmer. All three of them Heisman's. Matt Leinart is the only national champion in that. And then you got LSU with Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, and Jamarcus Russell. Two out of the three is Heisman's, but Jamarcus Russell still was a number one prospect. That team that year smoked. I remember they embarrassed Notre Dame, that year. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Mm. And what was the question? Who had the better quarterbacks in the last 30 years?
Yeah, which school had the most decorated quarterbacks in the last 30 years? I'm seeing Oklahoma, I'm seeing FSU, Chris Winkie. Yeah, Chris Winkie was 27 years old in college at the time. He was one of those guys that went to go play baseball, and then they let him come back, and so on and so forth. Like that's not a creative. An athletic advantage. Being 27 and playing with kids. Johnny Cash said, Florida not on this list. Florida's not on this list. But Florida was going to be on this list though, because you talk about Tebow, and you really talking about but you can't say Spurrier, because Spurrier, that's more than 30 years ago. So you're talking about Tebow and Warfield, and then I think it's like Ryan Matthews, the quarterback, but those guys are not greater as a group than these guys on this list.
Who was for LSU? You said Joe Burrows, Jamarcus Russell. Who was the third one?
And Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels just won the Heisman
right now. Yeah,
he just won the Heisman Trophy.
I'm gonna have to go with LSU, fam.
LSU.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
What was the other school? It was USC, Florida State,
and Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma. Yeah. LSU for sure is Florida State. They're not even in the SEC. No. LSU is the only one in that list, I believe, that's in the SEC, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And we already know that's the toughest conference in all of college football. To me personally, I feel.
Yeah. Well, Oklahoma going to be in the SEC moving forward, but they've been in the Big 12 for the most part.
Right. So,
the Chiefs.
That's my reason. SEC is like a tough conference, man. It's like you know what I'm saying? If you go 12-0, so you deserve that, because you playing top tier schools with top tier talent, with the recruiting class that they got, and all the schools in SEC is is up to par. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So LSU, yeah, for sure for me.
For me, if the question was who was the best, I would have said LSU because I don't think nobody on this list could touch Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels, even though Charlie Ward was excellent in college. But Charlie Ward, people don't realize he threw a lot of interceptions, especially the year he won the Heisman. But his team still was undefeated. No, they lost one game, if I'm not mistaken, but they still won the national championship. But I'm going to have to go with that same group, Florida State, because all three of those guys won the national championship. All those guys won Heisman trophies, and we're talking about decorators, so I don't think there's nothing higher than that. But the better prospects, though, is definitely LSU, in my opinion, because Joe Burrow, he was top of the class when he came out. He went number one. Uh, Jaden Daniels is probably going to go either number 2 or 3 in this year's draft. He should go number one. In my opinion, I think he's the better quarterback between him and Caleb Williams. And Jamarcus Russell, he went number one. He became a flop, but he was still number one. So, but I'm going with Florida State. The rest of the world, they went with USC at 45%. Now, I'm
Right.
not. They, again, the question is who's the most decorated. Everybody on USC won a Heisman championship, but all of them didn't win national championships with that. So yeah. All right. So moving on. We moving on to Hollywood needs to ask us. We had this question because we get a lot of these movies that we see that hit the movie theaters that is like, who came up with this? This ass ideas. Nobody's going to the movie theaters to see movies anymore. And a big part of the reason is that they're so off with their movie ideas. And we've seen movies that make it to the movie theaters. And it's like, who okayed this? Nobody wants to see this. So we create a segment where Hollywood needs to ask us what we want to put out into the movie theaters. You got something for us tonight, bro?
So Hollywood needs to ask me about. I want to see a movie about how the lottery came into play, right? But more so the
Mm.
beginnings of the lottery
Mm-hmm.
with Madam Stephanie St. Clair. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you ever seen Hoodlum, you've seen bits and
Right.
pieces of who she was. But I
Right.
want to see a whole movie about her because she was born. She lived from 1897 to 1969, and she basically created a numbers game. But she
Mm-hmm.
had numerous other rackets and enterprises in Harlem in the early 20th century, and she also resisted a mafia interest for several years. So it would be a dope movie to see how she, you know what I'm saying, created her empire. And who I would love to play her, uh, definitely I would see Taraji P. Henson play her. So I would love
Okay.
Taraji play this character and just flush out this character more and stuff. Because like I said, we did see little glimpses of her in Hoodlum. If you ever seen that movie that came out in
Mm-hmm.
'97 with Lawrence Fishburne
Lee
and how
Tyson.
with Cicely Tyson played her character, but
Mm-hmm.
it was more so about Bumpy Johnson. You know what I'm saying? But I
Mm-hmm.
want to see a movie strictly about her. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
without the numbers game, without no social media, without none of this stuff, the numbers game was uh, a not worldwide phenomenon, but it was from coast to coast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
neighborhoods where black people congregated at,
Mm-hmm.
everybody played the numbers. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where the lottery came from. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see them create a movie about Madam Stephanie St. Clair.
Yeah, that's a dope idea. That's a dope idea. Anybody you would have to that you thought about to direct this?
What's Ava DuVernay? I would love her to direct.
Okay.
Um, Taraji P. Henson as the main starring role of Madam St. Clair. But I want to see her beginnings life. So who I would love to see play her as a younger person coming up. Who's young right now? What's that girl's I can't remember her name, but she plays the younger sister in Euphoria. That's with she played that the little light skinned girl that also played in a movie with I can't remember her name. Let me look this up. I would love to see her play her younger version. Euphoria. Hold up, my fault.
Yeah, shout out to Johnny in the chat. Rowan Jackson, I spent all night just getting these guys to crack up.
Storm Reed.
Storm Reed. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know what that is. I know what that is. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, play her as a younger role, and Taraji play as her in her adult life, and Ava DuVernay be the director because Ava DuVernay got some really good dope work. So I would love to see that in a big movie. You know what I'm saying? No series. I want to see a movie of this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Don't skim the budget. Put the budget
Yeah,
up and
put the budget up, cut the check, stop
cut.
playing,
Right. Right.
and let's see a dope film. And then since we on feminism anyway, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Works for everybody. So yeah, feel me? Support the women. You feel me? Why not?
He said, since we all feminine anyway, like just put the money up. Like,
Put the money up. You know what I'm saying?
all right. So for me, Hollywood needs to ask us. I want to see a movie about the spin control of media. I,
Okay. Okay.
and 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 more so news, social media, algorithm based movie where like they know the truth, but they have to spin it in a certain way to get things to pop. You know what I'm saying? And and how this person could generate this type of buzz on this type of level, but this person who's way more high profile, it's like it come and then it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you talk about like just for sports aspect of it, right? You talk about Michael Vick and his and you know him fighting dogs, but then you talk about Ben Roethlisberger with his two rape cases, right? Two different women said that they was raped by Ben Roethlisberger, and some these are allegations supposedly, right? But Michael Vick stuff was on a whole nother level. But Ben Roethlisberger is more high profile in my eyes, mainly because he's an NFL champion, right? But Ben Roethlisberger stuff came and gone. Michael Vick lost 2, 3 years out of his prime, and when he came back, he was still able to be good, but he still lost some years out of his prime. And not to mention, fighting dogs is not the same as women being raped, bro. So I want to see a movie based on the spin control of that. So for me, I would love to have Donald Glover direct this movie. Me personally, I would love to produce the movie. My stars of the movie is Samuel L. Jackson, Jeffrey Wright, uh, Yolanda Ross, Patina Miller, Gary Owens, Jamie Chang, Carlos Miller, the comedian Carlos Miller, Coy Leray, the rapper, Journey Smollett, and Jonathan Majors.
That's
That,
a star-studded right there.
that's what I want as my cast. And some of y'all say, how you throw Coy Leray in there? Because you need somebody to, as far as like that's a newer face, right? Who's young, who could bring the younger audience in, but doesn't need a big role. You see what I'm saying? Like somebody that she could play the superstar or the reporter that has to report to Jeffrey Wright or something like that. But she would be muchly needed in this particular movie. I think it would be a dope idea. What would you call the lottery movie? They was asking, what would you call the lottery movies, Dogs Camp?
Oh, what would I call the lottery movie? Damn. Either something like uh, uh the numbers game or something about not Terry
Yo!
Terry Crews character
Stop,
or
yo,
Vic,
stop.
son.
Yo, stop. He said only if Terry Crews could play Michael Vick.
Yo, hey, too brolic. You can't even like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah, I love that show. Excellent writing storyline. Appreciate that, Winter. I think that would be. I think that would be dope too. I think that would be dope too. I think that would be dope too. I don't know what I would call my movie exactly myself, but that would be dope. That would be dope. You know, so yeah, so that's what I would love to see. That's what I would love to see. All right, moving forward. Make sure y'all hit that patreon.com right now. Patreon.com/. Can the Brothas Get a Rap Podcast. Again, that's patreon.com/. Can the Brothas Get a Rap Podcast. There's some merchandise on there. Tap in, tune in. You know what I'm saying? So moving on to must see segment. Our must see segment, must see movies, shows, and must hear music. You got 3 movies for us right now?
Chad, you already know how I do. Always got a theme. So my theme this time is sci-fi horror. Um, so these 3 movies is in that genre. My first movie is called Pandorum.
Uh-huh.
Thing came out in 2009. Stars Dennis Quaid, Ben Foster, Antigi True, Cam Gerard, Norman Reedus, Eddie
Fire.
Roos, and what is it? Think Andre Henneke.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a guy who wakes up from hypersleep in a hypersleep chamber with no memory of who he is and what his mission is. And you got to see the rest of the movie. Fire movie came out 2009. Dope, dope shit.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Cash. I'm looking at my notes. That's what I'm looking at. Anyway, next question. Next movie. Fire movie. I don't know why I don't play this that much, but the the imagery in this movie, we kind of living in it now, so it makes sense. So the movie is called Transcendence. Came out 2014. Stars Johnny Depp, Rebecca Hall, Paul Bettany, Morgan Freeman, Killian Murphy, sorry, Kate Mara, Josh Stewart, and Cole Heiser. It's about this billionaire tech guy
Mm-hmm.
who is conducting highly controversial experiments with AI, and he wants to create a sentient machine. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta see the rest of the movie and see how it goes and plays out. We're basically living in transcendence right now. You know what I'm saying? Because they just did a brain, they put a chip in somebody's brain or some weirdo joint like that.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, so we living in that era now and stuff. So the next movie, one of my favorite, I love this movie, is called Limitless. Came out in 2011.
Another dope movie.
Stars Bradley Cooper, Robert De Niro, Abby Cornish, Andrew Howard, Hill Harper, Anna Frail, and Richard Beckins. About a guy who's down on his luck, runs into a childhood friend, tells him about his situation, slides him a pill, and then you guys see the rest of the movie, see how it turns out. Fire movie, dope, and you guys see it. It's fire movie. So my 3 movies is Pandorm, Transcendence, and Limitless.
Top tier movies. Make sure y'all tap into those. They all got meanings to those movies. Me personally, I'm big on what the movie is trying to tell us, and the movies have a lot to say outside of just the entertainment value of it. So make sure y'all tap into those movies. My 3 movies, again, y'all know me, I don't keep a theme like my brother, but I freestyle and I like to name movies that I don't think y'all have seen. And these are dope top tier movies. Some of you may have if you're movie heads, but it's a good chance you've never seen some of these. So let's get into it. My first movie came out in 1991, directed by Daniel Perret, called Toy Soldiers. It stars Sean Austin, Will Wheaton, Louis Gossip Jr., Keith Goldman, T.E. Russell, Andrew Andrew Defoe. Stephen Williams. Stephen Williams is he plays Simon from Martin, Simon in the Skybox. So Stephen Williams. You know what I'm saying? The whole Elliot Mason Adams, dope top tier movie. It's about these kids who are away at school or a boarding school, so to speak. They kind of like trouble kids, but they at this boarding school to be productive, learn, and go on to the next level. And somehow, some way, this particular school gets hijacked by, top tier mercenaries. But the kids in this school, even though it's a boarding school, their parents are of high regards. They are of high military factor, and these mercenaries know that these kids are here, and that checks is going to be cut. So
Mm-hmm.
I to see the rest of the movie to tap in. It's a dope fire movie, a must watch. So make sure y'all check that out. My second movie is came out in 1994. It's a comedy. It's called In the Army Now. It's directed again by Daniel Pereira. Daniel Pereira is also known for, I just said, Toy Soldiers. He also did Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3, Turner and Hooch. So the dude is a big time director. This stars Paulie Shore, Andy Dick, Laurie Petty, David Allen Greer, and Lynn Winfield. Dope, funny movie about a young man who's trying to work. He gets fired from his job. Him and his boy need to make money because they want to open up a store. So they thought of the genius idea was to join the army. They said, "Yo, if we join the army, we could combine our money and we could open up this store." And you gotta watch the rest of the movie. It's hilarious. It never gets old. It's a top tier, good feeling type of movie because it is funny. What you was about to say?
Nah, that's a classic right there, son.
Yeah, nah, facts. And so y'all make sure y'all tap into In the Army Now. Third movie is a must see. I sat on Saturday and watched all of these movies, the Terminator movies, but this one in particular, the first Terminator.
Mm.
Tap into the first Terminator if you've never seen the one from 1984, directed by James Cameron. Y'all know who James Cameron is. This is where he got his name from. He's done Avatar, Titanic, True Lies, that James Cameron. This movie stars obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Michael Beechin, and Paul Winfield, the legendary Paul Winfield. If you don't know who that is, look this man up. You see his credits. He's a legend, Paul Winfield. Dope top tier movie about the Terminator. Terminator go back in time to kill this particular person. They send another person to protect her, and you gotta watch the rest of the movie. I know some of y'all probably are not into the Terminators or got into it late, but I'm telling you, the one from 1984 is a classic. It's an easy watch. It's not a hard watch, and that made me want to watch the rest of the Terminators. To be honest with you, so dope. Make sure y'all tap into the original Terminator that came out in 1984. So those are my three movies. So moving on to the three must hear music. It's Sunday, so this music selection is going to be different on a Sunday just to make your energy feel good going into tomorrow on that Monday. So I'm seeing Sergeant Belko. I want a cheesesteak off a car door. This is funny. You stupid. All right, so the three must hear music that you must hear first is The Sounds of Blackness, and this album, The Evolution of Gospel, came out in 1991. Top tier, it's top tier. Like just listen to that album. The album is fire. They do have a whole lot of intro songs, but their main songs like Optimistic like they got at least like that half of the album you've heard in the 90s movie before.
Mm-hmm.
The album is fire, so make sure y'all tap into The Sounds of Blackness Evolution, a gospel album. Again, came out in 1994. Second, I love to go with a playlist. Make sure y'all make yourself a Bob Marley playlist. Your playlist should sound something like this. Is This Love? No Woman, No Cry? Could Could you be love? Three Little Birds, Buffalo Soldier, Get Up, Stand Up, One Love, I Shot the Sheriff, Waiting in Vain, Exodus, Jamming, Positive Vibration. Start your playlist like that, and you're gonna have a great time just listening to that music. It's a Sunday night, Monday going into the crazy weekend. Chill out, get your mood right. And my verses, I love to throw verses in there. R&B. I have Babyface verse Brian McKnight. So make sure you tap into that. Again, how the verses go: you take their top 20 songs, play them rapid fire. 2 hours of great music. So make sure y'all tap Babyface versus Brian McKnight, Bob Marley playlist, and the Sounds of Blackness album, Evolution of Gospel. You have a classic show for us?
Definitely got a classic show. Y'all gotta tune in on this show right here. It's on Netflix, so you can check it out. It's called Ozark. Gotta check this show out.
Fire.
In 2017, 4 seasons. It stars Jason Bateman, Lauren Lindley, Julia Gardner, Sophia Hublitz, Skylar Gaitner, Lisa Emery, Charlie Tahan, and Tom Pellery. Basically about an accountant who has a firm with one of his mans and did not know that his mans had a deal with the cartel. And you know what I'm saying? He starts skimming money off the top, and the cartel comes after him and comes after his partner. And since that's his partner, he falls victim to the joint too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just gotta watch it. It's a fire series. I just didn't like the way it ended, but it's still dope.
Yeah.
It's one of the top tier drug shows out there, but it's more so about how the guy comes up with schemes to clean the
The money.
money. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that's more so what it's about. It's not so much about the drugs, but it's more so about how the money gets washed to turn it into legitimate money and what he does and the schemes and the plots he comes up with to clean the cartel's money. Dope series. You gotta check that joint out. If you got Netflix, it's on there. You won't be disappointed. Each episode is at least like 55 minutes of pure fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pure fire. 4 seasons. You'll be thoroughly entertained, son. So go check that show out. It's called Ozark.
Yeah, I got to get back into the Ozark too. I seen the first 2 seasons, and the first 2 seasons was elite. So I gotta tap into the rest of the series. Yeah, I think I probably seen the first three. I think I seen the first three, but dope series. Make sure y'all tap into the Ozark. Me, my classic show. It was only 1 season. I don't know why, but this was easily one of the best shows that came out. It only took like the first 20 minutes for me, and I fell so deep into the story that it's a must see show still. And the only reason why they had 1 season, and it's not because the show wasn't good. It was amazing, but it was around that COVID weird time when they was dumping like great shows. They was just dumping them, and so we never got it. But they said they are bringing season 2 out at some point. My show was called Little Fires Everywhere. Came out in 2020. Again, that's COVID time. And this was stars Kerry Washington, Reese Witherspoon, Lexi Underwood, Gavin Lewis, Jade Pettyjohn, Joshua Jenkins. Joshua Jackson. My fault. Joshua Jackson, Tiffany Bone, uh, Rosemary DeWitt, and Anika and Enrose. Top tier dope show. It's a must see. It's about two different families on two different sides of the tracks, and they show how it's a collision course for this family to meet, and they go into their lives. And you gotta see the show. It's a top tier show. They're talking about bringing this show back out because again, the story writing was phenomenal. The acting, I just named the actors on this list, top tier actors. So make sure y'all tap into Little Fires Everywhere. So they saying to get you to laugh, bro, is difficulty challenge Hall of Fame to
Oh
get you.
yeah, that's what they trying to do. All right,
Yeah, that's
Pete.
it. So yeah, so make sure y'all tap into those both of those shows. You got cologne for us?
Yeah, gotta get you a cologne. This week's cologne is Confessions of a Rebel. The scent is called Get a Room. You know what I'm saying? You look good, you feel good, you smell good with a bottle of Confessions of Rebel, you're gonna do good. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the bottle for this episode. Confessions of a Rebel, Get a Room, fire scent. You already know how I do. I always come through with some fire cologne for y'all. So the bottle is called the bottle is called Confessions of a Rebel. The scent is called Get a Room.
Fire. So make sure y'all tap into that cologne, get you smell good, you know what I'm saying? So you could press her, you know what I mean? All right, moving on. It's time to rap. Time to rap is a segment brought to you by Button Snap Streaming. Make sure y'all tap into Button Snap Streaming, where you get classic movies, documentary shows, and original content only for $4.99. So again, it's time to rap. So number one on the list, actor Columbus Short talks about the time Cedric the Entertainer was out cheating on his wife, and this lady that he was cheating with, he Cedric the Entertainer had kind of like left her out and about, and Columbus Short gave this lady a ride home. Later on at a party, Cedric the Entertainer brought up the indiscretion in front of Columbus Short and Columbus Short's wife, like trying to embarrass him at the story, which is the reason why he brought out the fact that he was cheating on his wife in the first place. Supposedly, this indiscretion that Cedric the Entertainer was doing was back in like 2000 and like 12 or something like that, but he brought out this story, a couple days ago. So what do you think about that?
Wait, so you saying Cedric the Entertainer had a side joint and at a
Yeah.
party?
Yeah, he had a side joint, right? He had a side joint. Both him and Columbus Short was somewhere. Cedric the Entertainer left the girl stranded, right? So Columbus Short gave the girl a ride home because he didn't want to see her stranded, right? So
Yeah.
now, so then he's at a party with him and all the celebrity people. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Columbus Short and his wife, and then Cedric the Entertainer tried to embarrass Columbus Short by bringing up the story to make it seem like, yo, you loving these hoes, like you know what I'm saying, like type of energy, like why you out for her and you supposed to be my boy, type of thing.
Oh, but he ain't do nothing with Shorty. He just gave her a ride home and stuff.
So right, supposedly,
Oh,
you wouldn't bring that up in front of Columbus Short wife, but he did anyway.
that's kind of slime ballish, Cedric. I mean, yeah, Cedric the Entertainer. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's kind of like slimy, kid. Like, why
Yeah,
you do that?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of funny money style. You know what I'm saying? Like Cedric the Entertainer over the years, I don't know. They saying he been stealing jokes, and it's just been looking bad for you, dog. And like you do this, is like, did Columbus Short do something to him for him to try to embarrass him in front of his wife? And that's a no anyway. If I got my shorty or I got my wife with me, like, nah, this ain't the time to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
you don't know how a person gonna react. If we with the boys and the
yeah,
crew,
yeah, yeah.
that's the time to bring it up. Like, oh, you saving these hoes and like, we joke about it, cool. But in front of the wives, nah, kid, that's
That's how.
against bro code. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's against
yeah.
bro code. And Cedric the Entertainer, you wacky for that one. You know what I'm saying? Real
Mm-hmm.
wacky. What was you trying to gain out of that? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like doing that, son. You bringing up stuff in front of mixed company, it's like, you don't know how the person is gonna react when you do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Rather do a phone call, meet bro face to face, and chop it up if you felt some type of way of him dropping her off and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring that up personally. You know what I'm saying? Doing it in front of mixed company is just bad. It's a bad taste, pause. And it just makes you look weak. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It just makes you look like you can't handle your affairs. You can't handle having a conversation with another man about a situation that you feel slighted about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just weird, yo. You
Yeah.
feel me? I don't get that movement, but you know what I'm saying? It's industry guys. You know what I'm saying? They do things different in the industry.
Yeah, I thought it was highly questionable, very weird. I don't know any of my friends who I would call friends or people who I would call frenemies or associates would do something like that, knowing the type of person that I am off camera. I don't think, that's just not a smart thing to do. You don't do anything in front of a girlfriend, a wife, or anybody. You don't know who this person is. It's just bad taste, and that lets you know a lot of these dudes who are celebrities, like just because you're a celebrity, that don't mean you're not a lame. It was very lame.
You just
So,
you just
it-
a lame with money. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, and even with Columbus Short, now he tells the story, and this happened in 2012. It's like, yo, you should have been checked this man, in person. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm looking at it too.
Yo, yo, Rowan Jack, you funny as shit, son.
But
He says, "Yo, question for y'all for the chat. Would y'all rather they get a female co-star, or I show up and teach them how to play Dungeons and Dragons?" Yo,
yeah, you funny. This dude's
oh man,
that well, that's his goal is to get us to laugh every show. That's his goal every show. So shout out to Rowan Jack. All right, moving on. Adidas has officially announced on making a Bob Marley sneaker. What do you think about that?
did they holler at the family to cut him a check?
They didn't say all that. They just
Yo, yeah, because you don't got Kanye West with you no more, so you need some black love. So you
uh-huh.
want to pull a Bob Marley? Nah, son. If
Yeah.
you cutting a check to the family, a portion of the proceeds to the family, cool. But if you trying to do that to get black people to buy your sneakers again to get your stock up, nah. It's good marketing because the One Love movie just dropped, and you know what I'm saying? Good
Hmm.
marketing employed, but for a conscious consumer, I would love to know that, hey, the portions of these proceeds are going to go to the Marley estate. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
we don't know if that's the case. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm a copy. You know what I'm saying? And if it looks ass, I'm definitely not confident. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean they're gonna make them flavor. Like Adidas is gonna make this particular shoe flavored. I know that for a fact. They're gonna do that because again, just like you said, the marketing is already there. It's too much of a home run for them to make an ass looking shoe. So I think it's going to be flavor. I think they're going to make it classic, and they're just going to imply the Jamaican colors, or the Jamaican flag, and then probably do something with Bob Marley's, face or whatever, his likeness to implement it into the shoe. I think it's a home run hit. But I'm like you know what I mean? Pause with to the fact it's like, yo, if the proceeds or a portion of the proceeds don't go to the family, then like what are we talking about? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that way the next generation, you know what I'm saying, can move forward and like the figurehead of their family is gone and he's still iconic. I just said his name as a playlist. And and not because I say this name as a playlist, but he's just Bob Marley is just an iconic figure throughout all generations, all decades. Like so, shout out to the Bob Marley family, and I hope that is the case.
My
Uh,
thing is, if they really gonna like put his face on the shoe, like when, like who, like see that's the thing about the paperwork. It's like, yo, who controls his image? You know what I'm saying? His likeness and all that other stuff, right? I'm
mhm.
pretty sure it's with the estate. So it's like, all right, you putting his face on there, you gotta give some money to the fam. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
So as long as y'all do that, then you know what I'm saying, you got somebody like me that's gonna buy it. But if y'all not doing that and you just trying to get your stocks up, chill. That's a whole nother ploy. Y'all trying to get y'all money up from us off the back of us again and not
Yeah.
cut nobody no checks.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? because it don't cost no money. It don't cost that much to make the sneaker in the first place. So, yo, Ron Jack said Disney will own Bob Marley. Yo, see, chat, I do laugh. You know what I'm saying? But that will be crazy if they. I mean, we already know how they get down anyway. Like, so we'll see first how it comes out, and then second how the split is really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they probably cut the family a nice check, but they should get residual as well too, not just some
Right.
up.
Not just a check, not some upfront. Oh, we're gonna give you
Yeah.
$1 million, but you done made 50 million using their family member. You know what I'm saying? The father, the progenitor, the family's face, likeness, and all that stuff. And I want a percentage and residual. You know what I'm saying?
As well with the upfront.
Right. I want the upfront. I want this, and I want the back end.
Fact. That. Yeah. So I'm with you on that, bro. All right. So moving on, Gabriel Lugwin, born Robert John Lugwin, ex-Navy SEAL soldier, declared as a woman in his 40s. At 50 years old, at 6'8", 220 pounds, covered in Navy tattoos, makes his debut on the Santa Clara, California Community College women's basketball team.
Come on, son. Come on, son. Like, what are we talking about here, son? Like, yo, this is pure ass, son. Like, this is why all these, yo, man, this is just stupid, son. Like, this is the dumbest shit ever, son. You clearly a man, dog. Like, what are we talking about here, son? Like, come on, son. We got more important shit to worry about than you all of a sudden wake up like, I want to be a woman now. Like, are you good? Is your mind working properly? And then on top of that, you want everybody else to fall in line with this fuckery.
Is Gabriel Lugwin. Look up Gabriel Lugwin.
It'll probably look like Terry Crews.
He definitely looks like a dude. He looks like a dude. Again, the name is Gabriel Lugwin.
Hold on, let me look this dude up.
He's they are an Navy SEALs soldier, but at 40 years old, he decided to become a woman. And at 50, he made his debut on the Santa Clara Community College girls basketball team as the starting center. He's 6'8", 220 pounds, covered in Navy tattoos. Not a good Navy SEAL then. Yeah. So is this agenda going too far with this?
It's going way too far because you can't make me accept that, son. Because that's what you're making me do. Like, you making me go against my own common sense to make you feel comfortable. Right?
And supposedly he busting ass and mind you, he's 50. So
he's playing against girls.
So he's 6'8", 220 pounds, but he's
spell his last name? My fault.
Lugwin, Liz Wig.
This is stupid. This is why America's gonna like. Look at this. Look at get yo. You remind me of my damn elementary school fucking gym teacher, dog. Like, get the hell out of here, son. Yo, what the hell, bro? Yo, this is sad, son. This is so sad. Hey, well, this is what y'all fought for, women. You know what I'm saying? You wanted this equality goofiness. This is what you got. And I know for a fact you women on the team I'm not comfortable with this, but you gotta placate that you with it. That's the part I don't like. Like, speak your mind, speak your truth. Like, you don't feel comfortable about this. There ain't no way in hell you feel comfortable about that.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no way in hell, son.
Mm-hmm. Imagine if you're the other team.
Everybody got front and pretend like, oh, this is cool and this is okay because nobody wants to get canceled. Man, fuck all that. That's weird as fuck to me. If I'm with my daughter and I see this goofy ass dude, I don't care what you call yourself. I see this goofy ass dude walk into the bathroom after my daughter, it's all hell breaking
Yeah.
loose.
Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah.
You
Oh
better
yeah.
take your ass to the men's bathroom and stop fucking around.
Yeah.
What you talking about? But I'm
Yeah.
supposed to accept that? Nah, 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 nah.
Yeah.
If I got my daughter playing on the team and I see some dude playing, nah, son, what we doing here?
Yeah. They said a dude looking like Yao Ming. Yeah, that's a fact. That's
Come
a fact.
on, son.
Shout out to James in the building. That's a fact. Dude again, 6'8", 220. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and I'm pretty sure they play in a competitive league, like a JUCO league or something like that. So I'm pretty sure that these wins matter to these girls because those girls are trying to go D1. When you playing JUCO, you're trying to get a scholarship to go play D1. So and it affects those girls' chances because he's still a man. His features is still what features, but his genetic makeup is still a man. He still
No
has
towering over all the other girls.
uh-huh. He
All you
still
gotta do is catch the rebound, put it back in. Pause.
mm-hmm.
What effort is there really?
Shout out to Rowan 12 in the building.
Oh, Rowan 12 was good. Where you been hiding at? Sleeping? Please read the comments. What you talking about, Rowan 12? You be talking crazy, dog. But yeah, that's just weird, son. Like, this is what we talking about. This is why America, the system, and all these people, they just gonna fall, son. Because all the other countries is worried about real shit. America worried about, oh, you want to be a girl? Okay, we're gonna accept that, huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ah, son. What you mean we're gonna accept that? No, I'm not accepting that.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
you gonna force me to accept that? I wish you would.
Yeah,
Make me accept it. How?
to
Especially
me,
when I have a daughter? Nah, son. I'm not accepting none of this goofiness.
that's just crazy altogether. Like honestly, like I have a daughter, and if she was like actively into sports, and had to play against this guy, and let's say she was only like 5'10", right? But she's busting everybody ass. But now when she play against this 6'8" dude who's clearly has an athletic advantage over her, he's bigger, he's stronger. The dude is he's not a small guy. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Stature. So you know what I mean? Like it's clearly a competitive edge, even at 50.
he needs to play in the senior citizen league, dog. Stop playing around. And
With
then this the other part. I'm not. They're using sports as a ploy to get them in. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And then once it's in, now that the lines is already blurred crazy because it's like, okay, you play in a girls' team, but when it's time to go to the locker room, do you go to the boys' locker room
Right,
or do
right,
you go to the women's locker room? Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So when the women are changing and going in the showers, you gonna be in the showers too? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, you
And
can't.
then it also goes to another aspect of when it's in society.
Yeah,
That's why I keep mentioning I have a daughter, and if we're in a public setting and I walk my daughter to the bathroom and I'm standing in by the doorway waiting for her to come out, and I see a 6'8", 220 dude in a dress about to walk in the bathroom, I don't care how. At that point, I don't care, bro. You better go to the men's bathroom. Stop playing,
mm-hmm.
dress or not. I
Mm-hmm.
see a dude. I don't care if you went and changed your driver's license and changed your name. I don't give a fuck about none of that goofiness.
Mm-hmm.
Take your ass to the men's bathroom and stop playing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? And it's not even wait for my daughter to get out, because what about somebody else's daughter?
Right, facts,
You know what I'm
facts,
saying?
facts, facts. Yeah, I just thought that was extremely just out of bounds. And if he's now playing the schedule, because he's playing, he's playing the season, right? Now this opens the door for more egregious acts of this, and the first implementation that you had mentioned is the sport implementation. Like I've seen another a man who, changed his identity from man to woman and is doing like the mixed martial arts and knocking motherfuckers out. But when he was fighting as a dude, he was getting work. So it's like the lines have been blurred, and there needs to be a stop. Like, if you're gonna play sports, cool. You want to change your sexual orientation, cool. But guess what? You still have the makeup and the build of a man, so you're gonna play with dudes. All right, you want to wear dress, cool, but you gotta pull up to the NBA with that.
My thing is like, yo, women, stop playing around, son. Y'all just be so y'all conform to this goofiness. Like y'all should be standing up and like, nah, I'm not playing with a man.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Or if y'all start doing that, it'll make more sense and they'll not allow it. But y'all just, oh yeah, you can do whatever you want and it's a free. No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do whatever you want. There's rules and regulations and laws to this, like and principles. What Big Worm said? It's
Principality.
principalities to this. Like, yo, come on, man. Like, let's be serious. Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's a
and I don't think most women gonna find it an issue until he starts winning league awards. If he starts winning like MVP or best rebounder, because he should have about like 30 rebounds a game. He's 6'8". He's 6'8", playing in women's college basketball. You know what I'm saying? So that's bugged out to me. So once he start doing that, then you probably see some sort of kickback. But he's playing the season, so it's up and it's stuck. So it is what it is at the moment. So, uh,
yeah.
crazy. Um, Next thing, is there such thing as wedding behavior? If you're at a wedding, is there such thing as acting accordingly?
What as far as like the people at the weddings?
Yeah,
Or
like you're
the
if you're at a wedding, right? You're at somebody else's wedding. Is there a thing as of acting accordingly?
yeah, just be appropriate. Don't be, you know what I'm saying? Don't be sloppy.
Right.
Just
So
be appropriate.
there's a married couple who was frustrated with their guests for letting their children dance and basically interrupt their dance of their first dance. So they let their small kids like interrupt that, this couple is having their first dance, and whoever the parents are, and the couple wasn't their parents. So whoever the couple, uh, whoever was the parents of these kids was allowed to basically get on the dance floor with the couple trying to have their first dance. What do you think about that?
Like, how bad was the inter? What like were they?
It was pretty egregious. It was pretty egregious.
How old were these kids though?
These kids was toddlers.
Come on. Like how bad? Like what were they doing? Like, cause like
But
what was the kids doing?
it, I mean, they was running, dancing. I mean, it's the fact that it's the first dance, and as a parent, you should have control of your kids.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like for me, I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I would have been pissed if I spent all this money. Because let's face it, when you having a wedding, especially a ceremony after it, you paying at least about eight. No, I'm bugging. You paying at least about, on the low end, 15 to 25 bands for a wedding and a ceremony. I'll say 15. If you on the cheap side of the game, now I'm gonna say the cheap side of the game. If you do it right, you could get a nice wedding and ceremony for about 14,000. But it seemed like 25,000 is the new going rate, right? So regardless, you spend all this money to get this day cracking, and then your guests don't respect you enough to hold their kids, at least for them to have you and your wife to have that first dance.
Yeah, that's kind of egregious. Like, I mean, it just looks bad. Like, why don't you just, you know what I'm saying, have more control over your kids? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? If you know you don't have control of your kids, don't bring your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Have
See,
a babysitter for the night.
it's funny that you say that, bro, because I like, you have a kid, I have a kid, right? Could you ever say that you don't have control over your kid and you're anywhere?
Nah. The funny thing is, like, not for nothing, my daughter is well behaved for a 5-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
I didn't really have to do much. When she was born, I didn't really have to do much. She didn't cry. She didn't do those temper tantrums, none of that. Like, my
Mm-hmm.
daughter was mad chill. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I don't have to really worry about that. But at the same time, not everybody's fortunate having a kid that's well behaved as mine, and I didn't even have to teach her nothing. She just come from the genes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But if I'm in a function, we come from an era where it's like you don't embarrass your parents.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I come from that era. If I'm going out with you with my daughter, I'm gonna instill of how to act properly because you ain't gonna be embarrassing me in these streets. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So if
Mm-hmm.
we in a ceremony, for damn sure you ain't gonna be embarrassing me, especially when it's time for it's not about us because we're here for the bride and groom.
Right.
Give
Right.
them that respect. You
Right.
feel me? Because they done paid for everything. We just came in here eating for free
Uh-huh.
and being witnesses to this glorious occasion. So let them have their moment.
Mm-hmm.
Hold your kids down, like you like put them on your lap, or if they start crying and fussing, you won't have to miss the first dance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Go outside, whatever outside the function, get your kids right, and then come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that too much to ask for?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you paying 25,000 and your shit get ruined, you don't get that $25,000 back.
Right.
Because
Right.
somebody already done spent your money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody
That,
on the way with your money. You know what I'm saying? Your money been spent already.
it's already got. You know what I mean?
So that's just the parents gotta do better than that. You know what I'm saying? That's really on the parents.
And I like even when I was a kid, right? I mean, we all kids. When we were all kids, we was all at a family function, going crazy, just trying to find a way to have a good time, pass the time or whatever. But at the same time, it's like you said it perfectly. We didn't want to embarrass our parents, and if we got the hint that we was about to embarrass our parents, we would know it. We would hear it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it shouldn't be on the married couple to be like, yo, get your fucking kids, right? It's like as a parent, you should have an eternal mindset about yourself where it's like, yo, my kids is acting very unruly and they just running around acting crazy and they running through the floor and like while they, trying to it's their moment. It's their moment. You know what I'm saying? So even if you have kids like that, then either don't come to this, go to the wedding and don't go to the ceremony, the after joint, or
Mm-hmm.
you know just don't participate at all, or keep your kids in line. Don't look crazy when these people like, yo, keep your kids in line. Like, what you mean they kids? I so keep, you know what I'm saying? It's not about you today. It's about them. So I just think that there's a decorum that needs to be met when you're at someone's wedding or their after party or whatever. So yeah. All right, moving on. A federal jury in Brooklyn found Carl Jordan Jr. and Ronald Washington guilty for the murder of Jam Master Jay, Run DMC's DJ Jam Master Jay. Um, and they being sent for to life. They're being sent up for life. What do you think about that?
That's it took a very long time, but
Mm-hmm.
finally got justice because it was like it was, when that happened, it was like what was that 2001 that happened, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's
Yeah,
been.
but that's what happens. Like, yo, you do the crime, you think you're gonna get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
25 years later, they gonna come after you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was 23 years later, and they still came after you. So I'm happy that the families got justice for his murder, and he finally can rest in peace, knowing that his killers is going to jail for the crime they actually committed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's justice. Uh, Definitely well served. Took a long time, but you know what I'm saying, the police and detectives who were on the case stuck with it, whatever, and I mean brought the case home, and that's what's up. And good work on that one.
And I find it interesting that both murderers both of his killers had a real connection to him. One of the killers was like a family friend.
Yeah.
They ever since they was little, and then the other killer was, I believe, his nephew.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, and they said it was due to a fact that I hate what he made some sort of deal, whatever deal that he made that they wasn't included, and originally they were supposed to be included. They felt the type of way, and that was the result of that.
Yeah, it'll be your own family sometime. What was Miss Uncle name and shit from Paid in Full?
Oh, damn, Ice, Uncle Ice,
Yeah,
Ice.
be
Yeah,
one of them cats.
yeah.
I see you with money, nigga.
I don't got no.
I ain't got no money, son.
BB Wonder can see you shining. I can smell a nigga with money. You know?
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy. I that should have been my next question to find out like who they were, but
Yeah,
to be his close friend and then his nephew on top of that,
yeah. Horrible, horrible,
bad business. Bad business.
horrible.
But again, that's justice well served. As a fan of Run DMC, is glad to know that he finally got his justice and all that stuff. Because it was just like when that first happened, it was like it's crazy. Like, why would somebody want to kill Jam Master Jay and all that? Like, it's like, yo, what?
Yeah,
And then for all these years to not get no answers, and they finally got the people who did it. And that's
yeah.
what's up. Shout out to law enforcement for doing justice and doing what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Ash,
yo, Ruin 12 is on one tonight. He bugging out.
come on,
Respect.
man.
He funny guy.
What, yo, bro?
Johnny Cash, he they going back and forth right now. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Chat going crazy. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah,
Uh,
stop playing.
next
Show
on the
love.
list, next on the list, rapper YFN Lucci. He was caught smiling when they was reading his charges that he's, facing. So he's facing life without the possibility of parole, plus 220 years, followed by 5 years consecutive.
What the yo, what type of sentencing is that? Like, bro, come on, son. You just gave he's facing life. What's the 200 extra years for? Who gonna serve that? His soul in the afterlife?
Follow 5 years
Five,
consecutive.
what you gonna do in 5 years, Kingpin? Like, come on, son. I can understand life without the possibility of parole. Cool.
Yeah,
Leave it at that.
yeah,
But 200 years plus an additional 5 years?
yeah, yeah,
Yo, son.
yeah,
Come on, son.
yeah. So they when they was reading his charges, he just started like laughing and just looking around or whatever.
He
And it,
probably was laughing at because this is crazy. What else you gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? But to laugh at it, because it's just egregious.
yeah, so this is what he's facing, and this is all from 77 offenses of murder felony or felony, yeah, felony murder. 77 of
Whoa,
huh?
that's great. I said, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, what do you do with that if you're sitting there? And I'm not throwing that in the air for us, but I'm just saying, let's say we were shooting a movie, like, well, that's not the same, but like, what can you really do with that? Like, when
I'm looking at my lawyer like, nigga, you better come up with that plan, kid.
yeah,
Cause I'm up against all types of shit. Cause they want me to do a 200 years after I die, plus 5 years.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? That's
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying. Like, okay, I die, but then my reincarnated self come back. You know what I'm saying? So when I come back as a baby, now I gotta do the 200 years.
uh-huh,
Come back, probably gonna take 2, 3 lifetimes to do the 200.
yeah,
Then after that, you gotta do the 5 years. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
what? It's like, yo,
consecutive, like, yo, you
you
gotta
know
do
what I'm saying? Concurrently, like, yo,
yeah,
like, come on, blood. Like, that's crazy, son.
Yeah.
I hope his case with because it's somewhat around the same case with like Young Thug and all that stuff. So I don't know. That's just wild. Like that's how you know like some parts of the justice system is demonic because that kind of sentencing is insane. Like, you know what I'm saying? Life without the possibility of parole, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Get that part. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But 200 extra years and 5 years, like, ain't nobody gonna be around for that. Everybody who is part of that courtroom
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna be there to see him do the whole life sentence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And you know what's crazy? Like I try to compile all this like time, and they couldn't give me a definitive answer when I try to like do the time myself, like in my head, like what this really mean. And at the end of it, he's just not getting out. But you know how they come up with all these different charges and years, and it means a particular year. They couldn't even give me the amount of years that this kid is going to do. And mind you, he's only 32 years old. So at 32 years old, his life is done. It's over with. It's done and over with. This is the same guy that was going out with Lil Wayne's daughter. Yes, the same guy. He was going out with Lil Wayne's daughter for a while. I think they broke up way before he went to jail, but to get life without the possibility of parole, plus 220 years, followed by 5 years consecutive. Like I don't even know what to do with that. Like
That's some because they in Georgia, so Georgia on some other shit.
hmm
I just hope YF and Lucci lawyer is on point to fight these charges and I don't know, hopefully get a lesser sentence or something. I don't know.
I mean, what would be the lesser sentence? Life
Uh
plus
30 years or
plus
something.
years.
30 maybe. But we talking about Georgia law. That's the thing. Like these different state got different rules. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
we not united like they say. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because every state got different rules and different statutes and different codes according to whatever crime you break. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like other states wouldn't hit you with the life sentence plus 200 years. They just hit you with life.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's another thing. Yo, chat. Whatever city and state that you live in, know them laws, especially if you playing with the law. You
Yo, Johnny's like, if you die in jail and come back, does that count as a life sentence? But remember, you still gotta do the 200.
you
So
still 220 years.
you know what I'm saying? So
So if you die and come back, well, if you did 70 years in one lifetime, you gotta come back and do 100 and what's that 100? My math gonna be wrong in that, but you get what I'm saying. Like you still gotta do them
like
years.
like I said, he's 32 years old. So you're giving him a life sentence. Him, everybody in the courtroom, the judges, nobody ain't gonna be around, son.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You condemning a man to die in a box, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? In the cell for the rest of his life. Now, if he committed the crimes, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah, I
get
mean,
times. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
77 offenses
It's
of
crazy.
a felony murder is that's that's crazy.
All they need is one. That's all they need.
So um I wish him the best of luck. If he did do these charges, I don't. Because if you are guilty of this, you're robbing somebody of their father, a brother, a son, somebody that could have contributed to the well-being of this community. Especially if that person was a decent person. So, but if he's not, guilty of none of this, then obviously I wish him all the best. I think that's crazy. I think it's still excessive, but
Very excessive.
to hear that, it's like, whoa, it's over. It's over. It's just a wrap. So, all right. So now we're moving on. We're moving on to the next segment. This segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. So make sure y'all go to bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com. You can book a session with one of the best photographers in the world if you're in the Miami area. If you're not in the Miami area, you can still book a session, fly out, and bust out your event for you. So make sure y'all tap into bigbravosection.com right now. Make it happen. Got a petty thought for us?
So my petty thought, I'm switching it up a little bit. Chat, you know what I'm saying? I got a few words from the Bible. This is all, everybody need this Bible, the Black's Law Dictionary. Me personally, I got the 6th edition, but you definitely need an earlier edition of this. Preferably a 4th or a 5th will do. So I got a few definitions for us. You know what I'm saying? Random words that I just picked out of the hat, nothing crazy. And we're just gonna go through it. So they're all from the Black's Law Dictionary I just showed you. So first word is status. The definition of status is standing, state or condition, social position, the legal relation of an individual to the rest of the community, the rights, duties, and capacities and incapacities which determine a person to a given class, a legal personal relationship. Funny enough, he was talking about Buddy who playing in a basketball as a female.
Mm-hmm.
Status would, you know what I'm saying? His status is he claims as a woman, even though he's a man. And you know what I'm saying? The rest of the community gotta agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Which
Mm-hmm.
is like asinine. But okay, whatever. Moving on. Next word is estate. So estate, the definition of estate is the degree, quantity, nature, and extent of interest which a person has in real and personal property. An estate in lands, tenements, and hereditaments signifies such interest as a tenant has therein. Again, chat, we don't orchestrate none of this. So you was talking about Adidas bringing out the Bob Marley sneaker, and I mentioned who has control of his estate. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? For them to even use his likeness and put it on a sneaker to now sell it and not give the family no bread. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So estate is the agreed quantity, nature, and extent of interest which a person has in real and personal property. So
Mm-hmm.
personal property in this scenario would be Bob Marley's likeness. You know what I'm saying? Again, I picked these words out randomly, but it works for the jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Next word is rent. You know what I'm saying? Consideration paid for use or occupation of property. In a broader sense, it is the compensation of a compensation or fee paid, usually periodically, by the use of any rental property, land, buildings, and equipment. You know what I'm saying? Very, very shelled out, very easy to understand about rent. Last word is attorney. Now, attorney is gonna hit you with a doozy. You know what I'm saying? All right. In the most general sense, this term denotes an agent or substitute of one who is appointed and authorized to act in the place or stead of another. Attorney means personal law association, corporation, or partnership authorized under applicable law to practice law. Not know the law, but
Mm-hmm.
practice law. So if
Mm-hmm.
you get an attorney, he doesn't know the law. He just has the right, the license to practice it. So he just, as we talk, what Allen Iverson say, we talking about practice.
Yeah. Well, you
So
get a
that's
lawyer,
what they doing.
right? If we get a lawyer.
Right. If you get
Mm-hmm.
an attorney, they practice in law. If you get a lawyer, they practice in law. But if you get an esquire, they know the law.
Mm-hmm.
Know the difference. You know what I'm saying? So the words that I picked for my petty thoughts from the Bible of all Bibles, the Black's Law Dictionary, is status, estate, rent, and attorney. I feel moving forward, I'm gonna just continue picking random words out of the hat and just give you definition of random words moving forward and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's my petty thought. Random words from the Black's Law Dictionary, the Bible of all Bibles.
Lit, lit like a tit. They going in on the
Hey,
chat.
chat, if y'all got any words y'all want me to look up, you know what I'm saying? Put it on the chat. I'll put it in my notes. And, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Umalo. All right, Johnny Cash, that was a good one. So you got me cackling. That was a good one, dog. Very good, very good. You know what I'm saying? That was funny, son. But now, real talk, if y'all got any words y'all want me to look up, put it in the chat. I'll write them down. And then next episode, you know what I'm saying, I'll give you the definition. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And shout out to your hat. You got the J for Jackson
Oh,
State.
yeah,
Shout,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? The melanated, colleges in the building. That's lit. Look like a tit. All right, so moving on to our next segment, Keep the Lie Live
Keep
segment.
the line live.
Lie Live. So this Keep the Lie Live segment is your talent is enough. And we've been taught that the lie is that our talent is not enough. We see everything that's going on with everything in the world, and you get around people who are movers and shakers, and you're like, damn, why do these people still continue to put themselves in these positions or go to these parties? And because they don't realize that their talent is enough. All you have to do is be talented and work your connections, right? But the way you work your connections is not putting yourself, your mental, and your body in harm's way. So that's a keep the lie live type of thing that they trying to do, where you have like all these talented people and they go to these parties and they get put in compromising positions. They sign these deals. They do this, they do that, and all the person got to do, I'm gonna go to your favorite word, is pop in the tape. You know what I'm saying? Pop. Oh, you don't want to get down, lay down? I bet pop in the tape of what you did last night. So your talent is enough. It may take a longer road travel, but at least you could do it with integrity, with a sense of style and a sense of purpose. And not only for you, because most people think their journey is about them. Your journey is not just about you. Your journey is about the people that support you and care for your journey. Just like the people that tune into our show, to new people, to from our day ones who tap into our show. Y'all all part of our journey. Y'all have a vested interest in seeing us do well and staying upright. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing for these people who are talented, but they put themselves in bad positioning because they don't know anybody of this particular industry. They only are known by this. And in certain communities, people don't deem you successful until you do business with somebody like a P. Diddy, like a Hugh Hefner, like a Vince McMahon, like in his time, Elvis Presley. So being talented is enough. Don't fall under the pressure. I seen a young lady, I don't remember her name, but she was going ham about, writing all this, music for Cassie, and she's been, just all she want to do is write music and be about music. Then continue to do that. Don't let these entities control your emotions. Still show your gift to the world, because it's the recipe, it's not the artist. It's never the artist, it's the recipe. So what that means is, if you wrote these songs for Cassie, cool, right? But with your talent and your skill, you could write a song for yourself. You could write a song for another artist. This artist may not have the output as Cassie, because of Cassie being a part of Bad Boy, being a part of a billionaire network, but you could still get with somebody new and upcoming that could use your dope song, and y'all could fight this fight together. So don't let these entities, don't let these people break your spirit when you have talent, regardless any type of industry that you are in. Stay in your right mind, protect your mind, your body, and your soul. Because at the end of the day, there's one you. Be you. So that's my keep the lie alive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so shout out to everybody, yo. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. You want anything to add to that before we tap out?
I feel like your talent, for one, yes, is important, but your work ethic is also important, and you got to know what you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what industry you messing with, or the people that's in whatever arena you at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, your work ethic is very important. So if you put the work in, it's gonna come out. So I personally don't know how, like, the music business aspect of it is run, because the business part is where these people be forgetting about. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
the business part. So if you like, because there was a video of this chick, I don't know how credible she is, but she said she was underneath Beyonce and she wrote mad songs for Beyonce or whatever, and this, that, and the third. And she has not got paid for her work and all this other stuff. So my thing is like, what's the business aspect of you doing something creatively for somebody else? They make a song out of it and you don't get no proceeds out of it, even though you wrote the whole song. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? What's the paperwork, or what's the contract um entail? Oh, because you're working with Beyonce, you feel like, oh, it's Beyonce, she takes my song, like she's gonna cut me in on the back end. No, where's your contract? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's the paperwork saying, like, if you use this song, you got to give me this much. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't use this song, then I have the free reign to shop this song that I wrote to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is like, yes, talent is enough, your work ethic is enough, and knowing the arena that you in is very important as well. And y'all gotta read your contracts. Y'all gotta know the paperwork game, because they always said to uh information away from us, they write it in the book. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So if you read your contract, there's no shame in you reading your contract or taking time aside, like, yo, give me, you know what I'm saying, give me a day or two, I'm gonna come back, and you know what I'm saying, have the contract signed. Like, I get the pressure. It's like, oh, we need it done now, but that's a point to you to sign a shitty contract. You feel me? So if you read your contract and it's up to par, you have your lawyer read it and he says it's up to par, and have your own lawyer. Don't have the industry lawyer. Have your own lawyer, read it up to par. Everything should be good. There should be no reason why people years later coming back, yo, I wrote this song, they never paid me. I wrote that song, they never paid me. Then, well, why didn't they pay you? You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? If the song made millions of dollars, you wrote the song, you should have credits, you should have bread,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's why you an artist, right? Am I saying anything that's sus or out the loop or way out, you know what I'm saying? Way out the spectrum of how shit's supposed to be done? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of artists, they're more content. Be honest with you, most artists is more content with just saying that they're signed. A lot of artists don't really care about really making money for real. A lot of artists don't really care about the fact that, this is where it starts when you want to start making history from your music. Most artists out right now is more infatuated on living the life and
That's
what
true.
comes with being an artist, and then they get caught up into the game, not realizing that there's a business side of it. Because the game is what people really get caught up in. Like the stuff with P Diddy, that's the game,
Right.
man.
Oh,
So
meet me at this party. We popping mad bottles. We got the section. That's the
mhm,
game. That's the chicken sandwich.
right, and
You
then
know
on
what
top of that, most people who are, I don't want to say most people, but you have a lot of people who do sign that are not from big cities, not from California, not from New York City. Um, they're not from the big cities, where they don't realize, like, now when you go to these cities, you come from like these rural areas, and you was the pretty girl or you was the handsome guy in these areas, and now when you go into the industry, everybody looks good. So now it's like, yo, what do you really have to offer to the game? I mean, the music is a dime a dozen. We looking for a hit. And if we can't get a hit, then we're gonna get a hit. Pause. So depending on who you mess with, you gotta understand, like, they have their own agenda too. But like, it's this thing where, like people think their talent is not enough. So for example, like if somebody says to you, yeah, I'm an artist and I want to book a show, and they say, well, what's your budget? No artist, real talk, should be paying to perform. You get paid, or you do it for free, or they don't pay you. That's just what it is. You should not be paying to get on anybody's stage. Simple and plain. Like it like and especially when you're starting out, when you're an upcomer. So don't let nobody fool you. Like I remember there was a thing where being independent wasn't cool. I remember it was a thing where, like, if you're independent, like, oh, so you not messing with Diddy, you not messing with Rick Ross, you not messing with L.A. Reid, you can't be popping, and none of them ain't pick you up yet. Not knowing, being around those dudes, and they could feel, you could feel how they get down, and then they could feel how you don't get down. You not you not they not inviting you or putting you around into a situation where you could possibly mess it up. So again, at the end of the day, your talent is enough. Even if it's a longer road travel, yo, take the longer road, because your journey is not your own. Somebody else is looking up to you and be like, damn, they took this journey. And then if you make it out of that, it's like, damn, yo, you a legend, yo. You did this before it was cool to do that. So, yo, don't be afraid to take them journeys, man. Like, that's just crazy. Yeah, we're on 12, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. He going crazy in the chat.
We've been
But
going crazy.
yeah, it's like, yo, your talent is enough, and we're gonna continue to see stories like that, because every day there's people that come from small towns that don't know anybody. They go to a big city, they go to the big city. They may meet somebody who's popping, like, yo, I could get you on. Who you could get me on? I could get you on with Diddy. Just with, just to, throw, he's the easy target right now. Just to say, oh, where you can get me with Diddy? I know Diddy be on that bullshit. I hear he's on that bullshit. Allegations. I hear he's on that, but he ain't gonna try that with me. I'm just coming to do my music and dip. You know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, you gotta understand, like, for a lot of these dudes, and I'm not naming Diddy in particular, because there's a lot of dudes who are not famous, who control buttons, who make crazy money, who live amazingly, and you don't know their name. Those are the people you also gotta watch out for. The person that always seemed too good natured. Like, damn, this person always looking out for me. But you gotta understand, there's a grooming process to this shit. There's a grooming process. So you could take a longer road travel and do it on your own, or build your own crew, or build your own label, or build your own label and network. Or you could go about part of being the norm, and see if you could navigate your career in dodging the advances. If you get put into those rooms, like we say all the time, the movie from the movie with Cameron, Killer Season, Gordo say it all the time. They pick niggas for this shit.
Right.
So for a lot of these people that get picked, it's not about their talent. A lot of people who's top tier, high profile artists, they're not that talented. A lot of them, are not that talented. There may be like a few who's like really talented, who could do it all, right? But the majority is ass. You hear the music quality, the beat might be good, but what they're talking about is corny. How they saying it, how they dressing is corny. It's like, yeah, nah. But they handpicked for this. So your talent is enough. Your
Facts.
All right, so before we close out, I must say, I mentioned in the beginning of the show, yo, make sure y'all go back and watch all the Terminators. I went back and watched all. You know what I realized by watching all the Terminators? Because I thought the last few was garbage, but you know what made it not so good? All the scripts have been amazing. All the scripts are amazing, but it's the actors that they pick for these movies. They not quality actors outside of Arnold Schwarzenegger. The first one was fire because of the acting and the actors that they picked. The second one was better than the first one because of the type of people that they picked to play those roles. The third one was like garbage, not because of the script, not because of the action. It's because the kid that they chose to play the older version of John Connor, he was corny, and
Yeah.
then the girl was corny. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yo, get out of here. And then the fourth one, the Genesis one, was pretty decent with Christian Bale, right? But where they messed up at is who they had to play the young Kyle Reese. He wasn't good, you know.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So it matters who you have playing these roles. And then the Salvation, I'm looking at the Salvation. The first 20 minutes of Salvation was probably better than any Terminator, because when they went back in time, you not only had the old Terminator, you had the T-1000, you had all these dudes
Yeah,
back in,
yeah.
like, that was lit. But the girl that played the new version of the moms, she was ass. The new Kyle Reese, he was ass. Like, just horrible acting, bro. Like, so that was like the big misconception of that. And then the newest one, when they brought the old um mother back or whatever, that was pretty decent. That was pretty decent. But again, they fumbled on the main girl, the Mexican girl. She wasn't strong enough as an actress to.
I ain't get that part. You know what I'm saying?
She didn't carry. And then the new Terminator, the white girl, she wasn't strong enough as an actress
She was
neither.
ass. She was ass.
Was ass. So, but them scripts was popping and on point. And going back to the very first one, those scripts all went back to that first Terminator, and they broke down what it means. So it's still a good watch, but that was the downgrade of each movie, was the people that they chose for those acting roles. They just wasn't ready.
Yeah,
So
fact. It's too
yeah,
much big of a franchise for them to handle.
yeah, facts, facts, facts. Play Cake as an opening credit for the next show. Oh, my song Cake. I don't know if I can. I don't know if they might give me a strike for playing my own music and my own video. Like, that's how crazy YouTube is. It's like, yo, y'all giving me a strike, but it's my song though. So, but yeah, that's my song Cake. Yeah, so y'all. Anything you want to add before we get up out of here?
Nah, it's been a dope show yet again. You know what I'm saying? Chat, you've been lively. Fuck with y'all. Fuck with you, Johnny Cash, Ruin 12. Ron Jack, you already know, day one. You know what I'm saying? Who else up in here? Y'all been spamming crazy. Who else up in here? Winter, shout out to you. Uh Lighty Lewis, shout out to you. Q, shout out. You know what I'm saying? Chat, y'all been wonderful. Again, like, share, subscribe. Appreciate y'all for tuning in with us on a Sunday night. Y'all could be doing anything, but y'all chose to be with us. And we appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? You already know we got another show for y'all on Thursday. Y'all come through on Thursday, holla at us, same time. Don't be late, Room 12. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to y'all. You heard?
And also, we want to thank y'all for we went over 4,000 subscribers for this channel. So make sure y'all continue to tap in. Our new goal is to get to the 5,000. We get to that 5,000 mark on that particular show, we're going to be doing some free giveaways. So make sure y'all continue to, again, like, subscribe, and share. Help us get to our 5,000 subscriber goal for this channel. So make sure y'all do that and help us out, because, yo, we love the love. And and on the rewatch too, again, these episodes are available for the rewatch. Tap into our clips and also our videos, that's not even on the live as well. So continue to support us. I want to give a quick shout out to uh our sponsors of the show, which is Bravo Section, Button Snaps, and OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, you can hit me or my brother at Instagram. You can hit me up at Ashley Lovechild on Instagram. You can hit my brother on his Instagram at
Bravo section _. That's Bravo section _.
Again, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor or one of the sponsors of the show. It's been love. Again, we're going to see y'all on Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Make sure you continue to tell a friend, tell another friend.
Yeah.
It's love. We up out of here.
Holla, y'all.